Good kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Back in, cuts to his corner, take the shot, he scores!
Peters Township a little up and down this season at 6-5 and now in need of a win to keep pace with their Prince State Arena rivals, the Cannon Mac Big Macs, who just scored a big win here on Berg Hockey Live moments ago against first place North Allegheny. This will be a rematch tonight for PT against Butler. Butler coming in at 2-10-0, tied for last with Central Catholic in the 11-team AAA. And Butler's trying to get some vengeance for a win that Peters Township got out at Valencia at the Frozen Pond Arena in October. Brian, starting with the Peters Township Indians, coached by Rick Tingle. Last week, I think again proved that they have had their struggles this year because they went up to Erie Cathedral Prep. Never an easy trip to come away with 2 points, but the Indians have not been able to string more than 2 consecutive wins together this season, and that was the case again with their loss at Cathedral Prep up in Erie last week. So, despite having a top scoring line, despite having their #1 goalie, Alex Wilbert, back between the pipes, still a work in progress for the Tribe.
Still learning, still growing pains here for the Peters Township Indians. I mean, you're, 3 years off of the state title. Those freshmen are seniors now, and they're still learning. The younger guys stepping in, bringing in a lot of the taxi squad, trying to see where people fit in this lineup. And it's starting to come together a lot later. We talked about this individual a lot recently, and that's John Camp. Yep. One of the guys is on JV throughout last season, came up, scored a couple big goals for the team. Now he's starting to come together, and he's getting regular shifts for Rick Tingle's Indians on the varsity level. Finally starting to see something there. A lot of players are starting to stay in the lineup for an extended period of time. You're always going to have your taxi squad trying to get them ready for the postseason, get them enough, get them in there, but you want to make sure you have enough to go. And definitely it's been growing pains for the Indians.
For Butler, coached by Maverick Gopfert, I mentioned the 2-10-0 record, 1-4-0 away from home. They've allowed 27 more goals than they've scored this season, and they have dropped 5 in a row, but it's not like they're getting blown out every game either. They've had their share of tough defeats. They lost 7-0 at North Allegheny 3 weeks ago, but 3 out of the last 4 losses have come down to the end, basically. 2-1 losers to Seneca Valley at home, 4-2 they lost to Bethel Park, and 5-3 they fell to Mount Lebo. So this team is in games, but they can't find that execution, whatever that bit is that can put them over the top. Maybe it's a key save here or there. Maybe it's a big play at the defensive end, just as much as it could be at the offensive end. But Butler just hasn't gotten it. Just the couple of victories, and they came just a few days apart. In fact, they beat North Allegheny, the top team in the league, in a shootout in late October. And so they've proven they can skate with some of these top teams, what I'm trying to say. And we talked about in the first game here tonight about the parity in the league. And it's not just something you say, it is true, but Butler's one of those teams that just hasn't been able to discover those ways to keep their nerve and to keep their cool in those tight situations.
Oh, absolutely. It starts in goal for Butler, and unfortunately, I do not believe that their all-star is going to be here today. He is not, it doesn't look like he's going to be in the lineup.
Connor Strobel.
Connor Strobel, it's going to be Rierick tonight. But he's definitely a game changer, and half the reason why they stay into these games, I mean, their offensive output isn't that great, but they're able to keep it in because of their goaltending. And looks like Rierick is going to get your start here in net for the Golden Tornado. and it's tough whenever you don't have the scoring that's out there. There are a couple games out of it where it could have been, and Strobel does make the difference there, and I've talked to Gopher a couple times about that, and he just says he's just magical in net, but unfortunately not having him tonight. Rierick will step in and hopefully step it in. It looks like we're going to get the national anthem.
As we
I
try to
talked
figure
on,
out,
sir. I'm sorry.
No, we try to figure out who's going to be in net, in fact, tonight for Peters Township. We'll figure that out in just a second on the Berg Hockey Law. Moments away from face-off here. Peters Township in the white with the red and the black trim, and Butler, the Golden Tornado, in the blue with the gold and the white trim. I'm Matt Geico with Brian Mitchell, our second game of the evening. And the starting goaltender for Peters Township will again be Alex Wilbert, who again is wearing a jersey that has 43 on the sleeves and 34 on the back. That's why I was hesitating at the lineup for the national anthem as to who was starting, but this happened to us last time.
I saw that too. It's kind of freaky. It throws me off every time, and you should just get used to it at this point.
At any rate, we'll see how long that jersey lasts for Alex Wilbert. Maybe they'll get that situation figured out over the break. But Wilbert making his 6th start. He has been the stalwart in net ever since coming back from a lower body injury. .913 save percentage, 2.62 goals against average, 3-2 record. As for Butler, it's Bryce Rierick, number 59. This is his 5th start. He's 1-3, .893 save percentage and a 4.5 goals against.
Folt starts with the Wilberts.
Scramble draw, and it's Bennett Thrash back for Butler. Or pardon me, yes, it is Bennett Thrash shooting, and it's blocked away to the end boards. Some high numbers out there for Butler. We commented on the first time we called a game between these two teams. 5-0 was the final in favor of Peters up at Frozen Pond. Sinicki's wrister weakened on the way, ends up behind the Peters Township net. So a good first shift here for the Golden Tornado. Sinicki shooting off the shoulder of Wilbert. He didn't see it, but he was down the butterfly position and positionally sound to get credit for his first stop of the night. Unconscious, literally. Anthony Foltz tries to lead the parade back for Peters Township, but he can't. Eric Wilbert backpedaling. I saw that Katie Wilbert will get her 2nd consecutive appearance here for Peters Township and her 3rd on the season. So all 4 Wilbert quadruplets will be on the ice tonight.
And girl.
That's very well said, my friend. Drew Wilbert is out there right now looking for this pass from the defenseman Seth Hanna, and Drew will get it. Drew wears number 25. Eric wears number 55. Katie wears 13. And we mentioned Alex wears a couple of different numbers right now.
4 and 3s are wild right now.
4s and 3s in net. If you see that,
Lehman.
it's him. Mark Lehman, top goal getter and point scorer for the Indians. Burrowed into the corner. Couldn't make anything happen there as he shrugged off a stick check. Owen Barrett snapped the knuckler over the top of the crossbar. Rierick reached up with both hands. Couldn't stop it. Mark Lehman accidentally shovels this one over the high glass and out of play.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting there, Legend.
I'm looking forward to it.
I hope you are, because I don't have to call those out every time.
This is the first home game that Katie Wilbert is playing. All seniors, by the way, the Wilberts.
Looks like we got Camp, Lehman, and is that Dubkowski?
Dubkowski, Gavin Dubkowski is out there. Some different lines here for Rick Tingle. Dubkowski with 2 high-powered offensive players in Lehman and John Camp. Camp continues to click along. 8 points in 7 games, including 6 goals. Lehman shot it. That was blocked in front by Sinicki. Clutch defensive play that didn't get through to Rierick. Lehman gets such leverage with that long stick of his, the long reach. Can't let him get those shots away, but Sinicki was right there to head it off before it got to his netminder. Seth Hanna goes D-to-D to Owen Barrett. Long lead pass. John Camp's ahead, splits the D. He's in, but sharp angle shot, even a behind the net type of shot, was patted away by Rierick. Thrash can escape with the puck. Dubkowski takes over. Camp bops it off the wall. John Camp keeps chugging. Camp to the circle, shooting, save, rebound, pops out into the slot. And Potocny gathers for Butler. Aiden Potocny reverses the flow. Sinicki dumped it off the glove of Bray, centered of Peters Township, and it hops into the Butler bench.
Blake Sinicki is a large player out there. He demands a lot of physical presence, and you do not want to go into the corner or along the boards. And John Camp just learned that the hard way. I don't think Camp played in the first game between these two.
I don't believe he did either. It was very early on in the season. October the 17th, it was game number 3 for both Butler and PT. Mark Lehman had the hat trick in that game, and a couple of short-handed goals in consecutive fashion in that first period. It wasn't much of a contest after the first up at Frozen Pond. Butler hoping for better, obviously, tonight. Icing against Peters Township. There is no race for the puck in PIHL hockey, so it doesn't matter that Jack Zakin was right on there to take that just shortly after it crossed the goal line. Our referees for this game are the same as game 1. Todd Hendry, the former Fox Chapel goalie, and Jordan Seelock of Robert Morris University. Ackelson wristing from the point after the face-off win, but Trevor Ackelson couldn't get that through. Ackelson's back forward again, lost control under pressure from Zakin, and the Indians won't be able to push it past Ackelson a second time. McElhaney was the one who tried, but failed. Now tossed ahead by Colton Gregory. Behind the Peters Township net, it squirts out in front. Side of the goal, turning try. Wilbert made a stop, I think, on Gilliland. That is Troy Gilliland. Didn't sound like it hit the outside of the net or anything.
91 is Troy Gilliland, 19 is Trey Gilliland.
Oh, yes.
Gilliland twins and the Wilbert quadruplets. Oh boy, oh boy.
Butler used to have 3 Gillilands, so I'm
Yeah.
just counting my lucky stars. They don't have that number. Katie Wilbert in after it. Nearly got her first touch on the puck there on the forecheck. Instead it's Barrett over to Hannah, has to reach out. And now it's Katie guiding it down the wood over to Ackelson for Butler. Katie puts it right back in. I'll just try to use the first names of the Wilberts when I can and when it's obvious. Seth Hannah in the middle to Katie Wilbert. Bumps into Sherwin. Luke Sherwin behind the goal for Butler. And Sherwin ran into his own man. This is Glivic for Peters Township. Bit of a squad rotation for Rick Tingle tonight. Zach Glivic has played in 5 games so far. Make it 6. Here's a long distance shot from Butler's Sal DiDomenico. Gobbled up by Alex Wilbert. 12:28 left in the first period. And Brian, you know better than I would the history of girls playing in the PIHL.
Yeah.
Is rather rich. I know we had at least a couple last year too.
We had a captain last year for Blackhawk,
Captain,
and that's
that's
what I
right.
was actually going to bring that up. Abby Schaefer was the captain for the Blackhawk Cougars last year. And Katie Wilbert showed a little bit of that fierceness that she showed last season on that last shift, taking a couple players to the board. Schaefer played with no fear.
Oh, you have to, right? If you're in that
Yeah.
situation, I
Yeah.
give these girls so much credit.
The stories I heard about that situation.
Hannah taking it from Drew Wilbert, and here is Drew again with Eric behind him. Drew shot it, and Rierick smartly patted that away to the corner. Oh, Rierick looks pretty ready to go in this game so far.
As we talk about that, we talk about Brianna Medved. She played for West A last year, did not come back for her senior year this season, selecting to play for the Penguins Elite. And
so
she'll
there
head
you
to
go.
SUNY Canton, so that's good for her. But yeah, there's a lot of rich history of the women's players in the PIHL the last couple seasons.
Drew tried to center.
Oh!
It's Eric score! Eric Wilbert rings it under the crossbar and in. Gets the assist from his brother Drew with 11:22 left in the first. PT has an even strength goal and a 1-0 lead.
Oh boy, just stepped out on the doorstep and fired that up over the glove of Eric. Nice shot there for Wilbert.
Eric Wilbert, 6th of the season. 1 short of his brother Drew on the goal scoring list for PT. Tying him with John Camp for 3rd on the squad. So PT once again has the first goal. Last week, Hunter Ferguson had the only goal in that loss up at Erie Cathedral Prep. Ferguson now has the puck as if on cue. Over to Debkowski, shot it on goal, and Camp deflected it on net. And Rierick made the save. Back to the point. Ferguson shoved it down the boards. Camp couldn't control. It'll be Luke Sherwin trying to clear, but he can't do it immediately. Bennett Thrash run into John Camp with Debkowski. Camp, backhand softly right through the crease. No one home on the far post. Tossed up ahead by Potocny, and Sherwin has to try again, but he gave it away. Debkowski, high shot, blockered into the screen by Rierick. So PT tilting the ice after a couple of early promising shifts for Butler. Now it's a 1-0 game in favor of the home team. Mentioned that 3-1 loss last week for Peters Township. Prior to that, it scored 4 more goals in 4 straight. Not surprisingly, they were 3-1 over that stretch. Aerial pass glove down by Zakin. It'll be McElhaney shooting off line, maybe deflected. To the sidewall. Gilliland, that's Trey Gilliland, couldn't clear. Owen Barrett pumps one on target, and again punched away by Rierick. Hanna to Barrett. A couple of seniors on the blue line together. Bray centered, guides it ahead, took a bump to make the play. McElhaney, the long reach to Zakin. Creeping in for a shot save. Rebound Zakin.
Just missed it by inches.
Couldn't guide it in. That was Hanna who got the initial chance that led to the chaos.
That's the Sinicki factor. Tied him
Hanna
up.
gloves down this long dump in by Butler with Troy Gilliland in his face. Hanna rounds the net, but McElhaney couldn't take his pass. The Indians are offside, or at least it's delayed. They clear the zone. And problem here, a Butler player well behind the play in the far corner is still down and just now rising to his feet.
Looks like it's Troy Gilliland. No.
Butler's number
11. Nope, looked like 91 for a second there.
I thought it was 91 too.
It is 91.
Yeah, there is no 11 on the Butler roster, so it's got to be 91
It's a
if
Gilliland.
we see the one out there.
Yep, 91. It's got captain.
Again, for Maverick Gopeford, it's a short bench.
He got hit up high, holding his neck.
Butler dressing just 14 skaters tonight. And the athletic trainer on staff, medical personnel helping Gilliland to the bench. Center ice face-off between Caden Slavin and Bennett Thrash. Slavin pushed it all the way up ahead of the offensive end from behind the goal. Chayton Ringwald tried to center for Peters. Nothing doing. Potocny, Aiden Potocny back for Butler. Didn't like what he saw on the rush, so he dumped it into the corner. From there, it's Simcoe. Simcoe's got Thrash wide open in front, but couldn't get it to him. However, the Indians have committed a penalty. Brady Simcoe, the pass out to the line, touched by the Indians, and they're about to go short. Cross-checking the call from referee Hendry. And Hunter Ferguson will skate off. With 8:53 to go in the first period, 1-0 Peters Township. First time shorthanded for the Indians tonight. But their penalty kill is first in AAA, 88%. They've only been scored on 6 times and 50 chances. Here's a rebound opportunity, though, for Thrash. Couldn't guide it home against Wilbert in front. Potocny lassos this puck along the kick plate, reversed it, looking for Thrash. It slides on through to Simcoe. Simcoe confronted there by Anthony Foltz, but the Golden Tornadoes set up shop. DiDomenico, wristing, blocked on the way. Pardon, that was Deal rather out at the point. Now Thrash. Potocny had Sinicki creeping to the goal, but couldn't feed it to him. It was broken up by Seth Hanna.
Good stick there by Seth Hanna.
And how about Foltz here, pressuring Deal. Josh Deal forced to give it up to Brody Simcoe. I think I called him Brady the first time I called his name. It is Brody. Thrash, drop pass, off to Deal. Potocny now. Thrash, and now behind the goal to Simcoe. One touch pass by Potocny looking for Thrash in front, and again, Hanna cleans up the garbage and chips it off the window and out. It's a 2-on-1 maybe for PT shorthanded. Camp made the pass. It is Debkowski's save made. Rebound, another save on Camp. Rierick stopped 2. With Peters shorthanded, they go on the attack. 49 seconds to go on this penalty kill, but they get 2 golden chances on the rush.
Nice first save for Rierick there. The follow-up from Camp got lost in his pad. He didn't know where it was. Everybody was turned the other way. Let the puck loose without a whistle, then was able to cover it up. get the quick whistles, trying to play it out, but unable to get to that play, so they're going to face off here.
Yes, ideally on the power play, you'd rather not have to face it off again in your own zone, but that's the deal here. Only goal so far, Eric Wilbert from Drew Wilbert.
Gilliland's back out on the ice. With his
So he
brother.
appears to be okay to play after getting checked out by the athletic trainer. 30 seconds left on this first power play of the game, which has gone to Butler. And again, Camp, a shorthanded demon. Camp against Ackelson, put it in his skates, but Ackelson kicked it over to the near side boards, and Aaron Sharp. Sharp, though, nearly coughed it up in the middle, and finally, it's Camp hopping on the loose puck. Camp, the drag move, past Gilliland. That is Troy Gilliland, in deep, and scooped up now by Trey Gilliland. Ackelson at center, has some space, skates in over the line, but ran into resistance there. He had 4 Indians in front of him, and it'll be Jake Bush taking care of it, clearing it to the sideboards. Aiden Wagner kicked it along, but PT back to even strength. And here they are on the counter. Drew Wilbert waiting, feeding to Lehman, and he couldn't guide it on line. He had a half open net if he could have. Maybe a fully open net. It was a good pass, but just a little bit maybe
Just
off the
missed
heel
it.
of his stick. Bush on the regroup to Hannah. Hannah to Eric Wilbert, the goal scorer. Wilbert downshifts, finds Drew, a redirected blast. That hit Deal of Butler in front and nearly tipped home. A little bit unfortunate for him, but here's Drew to Eric, score! They do it again. Same combination, 2-0 Indians with 6:02 left in the first.
Just the give and go, and he just went high. Really not much that Rearick could do on that one. Nice little play to get it across the crease. Skated in, couple strides, wristed it high. 2-0.
Drew Wilbert has a couple of assists. That gives him 9. He has the most on the team at this moment, well tied with Eric. Who else? It's the Wilbert show so far on Berg Hockey Live in this game 2 of the doubleheader. One of the Butler players was down and hurt for a moment, but he got up. I didn't quite get the number. The Golden Tornado have iced the puck. So twice, you're not seeing double if you're looking at the box score, or in my case, my scorebook. Eric Wilbert from Drew Wilbert. About 5 minutes and 20 seconds apart, give or take. Barrett couldn't keep this in. Brody Simcoe, pass across. It's Potocny trying to center, and again, Seth Hanna playing some emergency defense. Reached out with the glove to knock that down. Now the Indians try the home run pass to McElhaney, but that's gloved by Deal. Barrett to Hanna, who's playing a ton in this first period. He iced that puck on the attempted headman pass.
There's one thing I'm noticing in the first period is that Tingle's not afraid right now of rolling his lines. He's not doing too much going on with one line, but he's definitely getting 2 or 3 lines out there. Oh, that 4th line is getting a lot of time too.
Now we see Slavin with Ringwald and Glivic. Behind the PT net. Again, Butler sets up shot. They seem to like to settle in back there. Troy Gilliland trying to find Trey, broken up. Glivic, second chance, does nudge the puck over the blue line. And Ringwald wiped out on the hit from Trey Gilliland. Ackelson headmans it. Nudged ahead by Sherwin. Jake Bush, the toss right into his own bench. Look out, Brandon Tingle had to duck out of the way of that one. Actually, Rick isn't even behind the bench today. Might be away on work assignment.
Yeah, I don't notice the hat down there.
Yeah, he's pretty unmistakable when it comes to
Yeah.
coaches. You can always tell from whether you call it a newsboy cap or a Tam O'Shanter.
Not here tonight.
Cliff Bumford down there as well. Longtime assistant of Rick Tingle.
Here we go.
Drew Wilbert on a breakaway, missed it high, might have been deflected. I don't think Rearick got a piece of it. Maybe it tinked off the crossbar. That close to a 3rd point for Drew, and he gets a fist bump from Eric Wilbert.
Then Looks like he got a piece of the crossbar and into the netting.
Foltz won it. Drew Wilbert shuffled it down low. Eric turns, so he had Drew in front. The Wilberts are demons so far in this game. Simcoe just softly sends that on the Peters Township net, and Alex Wilbert has this one. Foltz against Thrash at the dot. Foltz poked it ahead. Sinicki shot one off a leg. That saucers into the corner. Ferguson couldn't force it past Deal. And the Golden Tornado try again. Potocny. Oh, he's 1-on-3 right now. Needs some puck support. He does get it from Thrash. Back to the line. Deal for Potocny. And it bounces off a couple of sticks. Ends up behind the net. Sinicki bouncing puck. Had to wait until it came out of the blue line to send it right back into the mix. Ferguson after Butler tags up. 2-0 Peters Township on a couple of goals from Eric Wilbert. But here's Simcoe. Has a man in front, Thrash, but Ferguson defended that, and then Thrash, well, he went in behind the net, and then Simcoe decided to simply shoot from the corner.
Sneaky shot, almost put it in off the shoulder.
Wilbert gathered it in. Last 4 games for PET coming off that bye. They lost to North Allegheny up at Barrel in Warrendale 6-4 in a game we called on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. Then the Miners Cup win against Cannon Mac 4-1. The suddenly streaking Big Macs who've won 3 in a row.
A big win over North Allegheny, previous game.
6-2 just moments ago. Trey Gilliland couldn't drag it past Owen Barrett. Here's Seth Hanna, the defenseman, leading the rush, but his pocket is picked by Troy Gilliland from behind. Mark Lehman will send it ahead. Camp on the chase, and Camp wins that puck battle. No surprise. Seems to come out of every pack with the puck. Camp to the point. Hanna right back to John Camp, half wall. Tried a shot maybe, and that was redirected over to Barrett. Barrett put it on net, loosen the blue paint. Bryce Rearick pins it down.
Bounced off Camp a little bit after the shot from Barrett. I didn't think that too much of a shot from Barrett there. He wasn't at the blue line, where he's been pretty much deadly the last couple games we've covered.
He's looking more and more comfortable contributing to the attack, including that game against North Allegheny we talked about, and also the win against Cannon Mac. Peters also beat Pine Richland in that stretch before falling 3-1 up at Cathedral Prep last week. They were down 2-0 pretty quickly against the Ramblers up at Mercyhurst Ice Center, so a much better start here tonight, obviously. McElhaney gets his legs churning, makes one man miss at center. That's Thrash. Hands off to Zakin. Jack Zakin stubbed the shot, ends up behind. McElhaney trying to wrap around. It's in! It's a goal for Dylan McElhaney, reaching out and stuffing it home with the right post. 3-0 PT with 2:40 to go in the first.
Just simple play from behind the net, walked out. There was only maybe an additional inch of space there for him to put that puck, and he just perfectly placed that along the post to give him a 3-0 lead.
Looks like it'll be Zakin and Hanna on the assist. Seth Hanna picked up his 2nd assist of the game already. That matches his previous total in 10 games this season. Came in with 2, now has 4 helpers. There's number 18 in white. Here's a centering play, and it skips right away from Trey Gilliland and Aiden Wagner. They were right there on the doorstep, but they couldn't convert the pass from Troy Gilliland. Ferguson on the chip play. McElhaney's 2nd of the year has PT ahead 3-0 before the end of the first period. Trey Gilliland pressured by Katie Wilbert, but he does bank it out to his brother Troy. Troy nudged and then checked hard by Caden Slavin. This is Tyler Sikanolfi, first-year varsity player, lost it in the slot. Hops over to Troy Gilliland, big rip, and that's blocked by Ferguson. Ferguson on his forehand side, got it to Zach Glivic. Glivic has Katie Wilbert ahead, and Glivic with a delayed penalty coming up against Butler will carry into the offensive zone. Drop it looking for Katie Wilbert. Does not connect, but it doesn't matter because the Indians are going to go to the advantage for the first time tonight. Butler penalized. The penalty box door is open down to our right. Slashing is the call against Aiden Wagner. First power play of the game for PT. The Indians almost as sharp on the power play as they have been on the penalty kill this season. The Tribe has scored 10 times on 37 attempts. That's 27%. Second only to Upper St. Clair in AAA. Lehman, cross rink, open man there is Drew at the dot. Left side, Wilbert weaves, passes to Eric, trying to go to the doorstep for John Camp. Would have been a beautiful play, but it was broken up by Deal of Butler. To Lehman, long distance shot, top of the circle, held on to by Bryce Rierick. 1:15 to go in the period, 1:35 left on the power play. Eric Wilbert has 2 goals, Dylan McElhaney has 1. A couple of assists each for Drew Wilbert and Seth Hanna. Eric Wilbert digs in below the goal line. Passed it by his brother Drew. Hunter Ferguson to Drew. Drew wanted to go back to Eric off of Deal's skate, but Drew gets it right back into Eric, looking for the hat trick in the first period, but spins off his blade. Camp to Drew. Hunter Ferguson has Lehman this side. Ferguson shoots off a body in front. I'm not sure it got through to Rierick, but it hops to the corner and cleared by Sinicki. So Blake Sinicki gets the all-important dump out for Butler halfway through this Peters Township power play. Drew Wilbert taking on the D. Left it for Camp. Camp dropped it. Lehman right into the chest onto that golden tornado crest on Bryce Rierick's jersey. .26 seconds to go in the frame. Right circle draw for the senior Jack Zakin to take, second-year varsity man. Zakin goes forward with it. McElhaney plucks it out of the corner. He and Zakin play catch. Now Owen Barrett. Quick push over to Hanna. Shot and score! It went through traffic and in, and I think that's Seth Hanna's goal and his 3rd point of the first period. 4-0 Peters Township on the power play conversion.
We were talking about Seth Hanna's ability from the point. There it was in all of its glory. He's doing a fantastic job back there, just fired that through traffic and was able to just beat Rierick. Make it 4-0 here.
So Hanna converts it from Barrett. Barrett gets another point. Seth Hanna gets his first goal of the year. 1 goal and 2 assists. And now it's Dabkowski. Gavin Dabkowski robbed by Rierick at the top of his crease. Dabkowski has 1 goal this year in his first varsity appearance, and he fits that PT mold of some straight ahead wingers. Can really push the pace. Just 3 seconds to go in this period, and PT urges Dabkowski to go to the slot because PT wants to get a quick shot. Actually, they tried to shoot it right off the draw. Did Seth Hanna after the face-off win. Didn't work out, but it doesn't matter. Peters Township pours on 4 in the first. Eric Wilbert, Dylan McElhaney, and Seth Hanna, the last one, scored on the power play. And PT's got a nice down payment on what it hopes will be victory number 7 tonight. And we'll hear the official announcement here on the Hanna goal. So Zakin and Barrett will get the assist. Bray Center gets, I think that's wrong on the Dylan McElhaney goal, at least on the initial box, because it was Zakin who took that shot. It led to the McElhaney wraparound goal. Thank you for watching tonight. This is our second game of a Berg Hockey Live doubleheader. New endeavor we're trying this season. It's my first doing play-by-play for both.
You get a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Not as interesting. I got a quick announcement from the league. Just wanted to give everybody a little heads up on what we talked about in the first game. The league named their players of the month. Here they are. It's Riley Mestowski of Neshannock, goaltender. Cole Mitchell of Freeport. Dylan Belak of Baldwin. And Shane Paremba are your players of the month from the PIHL. That is not a Pittsburgh Hockey Digest award, that is actual league. Figured we'll just announce that for you guys so you can see that, and we'll move on to the second period now.
Well, Butler needs something to go its way here early in the second.
That's not it.
Trey Gilliland spun around and knocked down on the clean check by Mark Lehman at center ice. Camp, those choppy, familiar strides of his, couldn't get around the edge there. But PT works it back to the point. Owen Barrett shot it, loose in the slot, backhand score! Mark Lehman makes it a 5 spot. Lehman took it around the goaltender, and with that reach, he's going to be tough to stop from that range. 11 goals on the year for Lehman after the point shot created the rebound. And that was Barrett shooting, so he gets another assist. It's a bonanza of points for PT so far.
That was just nice little backhand on the doorstep, stretch rear out, and just able to put it behind him on the short side.
Very poised by Mark Lehman. Looked like a guy who's scored in double digits this season. He knew he had some time. No one was checking him immediately. So in a matchup that ended 5-0 last time in favor of PT, it's 5-0 in the opening minute of the second period tonight. That means for some of PT's depth players, I'm sure they'll get plenty of run this evening. Includes some of the players out there right now, Chayton Ringwald and Caden Slavin and Katie Wilbert.
You got a penalty. No, it was an offside, delayed offside.
So that's wiped out. Ringwald to Katie Wilbert, kicks it to her stick skillfully, but couldn't backhand it past Ackelson at the line. It did get through. Ferguson, high shot over the net from the side wall. Ringwald tried to center it, looking for Slavin perhaps, but that's broken up, but Slavin takes it right back. PT's just a little more intense than Butler right now in these situations. Katie Wilbert centers it, looking for her first varsity point, but Slavin knocked it wide of the net. Potocny smashed, but he made the play to get it out. Bennett Thrash dispossessed by Chayton Ringwald. No penalty coming up. Ferguson holding, and good pass there for Slavin, but he just couldn't quite handle it. So now it's Thrash on the regather. Centering it, and Wilbert had to make a save there on Brody Simcoe at the doorstep. Put out toward the slot, Katie Wilbert chips it to center. Longer shift for these Indians, and they will get a change finally. At least the forwards will. Ferguson, lead pass, they catch Butler in a change. Eric Wilbert puts it into the middle for Fultz, and he can't open it off the puck legally by Deal. Good defensive play by Josh Deal. Center of the ice, Colton Gregory took the shot, bumped hard as he missed the net. Troy Gilliland checked by Sikanolfi. Now Sikanolfi going after Sinicki, the tallest man on the ice, or maybe tied with Mark Lehman. Penalty on the way against Peters Township, and I think it's that hit by Sikanolfi on Troy Gilliland that caused it.
Second time Gilliland's been hit up high. He's down, still on one knee behind the net right now. The captain for Butler getting up slow and gingerly. Looks like he's fine to go. He's going to stay out for the power play. Nope, they're going to have to go for a change.
With 14:40 left in the second, Butler gets its second power play, down 5-0. Butler's power play, 6th in the league, middle of the pack, 16%. The problem has been shorthanded goals allowed. They've allowed 5 on the year, have the Golden Tornado. So that cancels out some of those conversions. Deal knocked it right back into the offensive zone, but it's back in the possession of Jake Bush, and Bush gets rid of it for PT all the way down the length of the rink. Sinicki clears it around the wood. Zakin, though, will win the race to the puck in the neutral ice area. Checking from behind is the call against Sikanolfi, in case you were curious, and I was. Sinicki picks his way to the offensive zone. Left it there for Thrash at the half wall. Now Potocny. Aiden Potocny. Very measured in his movements. Behind the goal to Thrash. Thrash in front. Sinicki trying to gather it, but he's tied up. Simcoe shovels it. Deal, shot it. Wilbert made the save. Potocny can't get it. Zakin will for Peters Township. He skates from far wing to near wing. Zakin, a deke around Simcoe. Zakin couldn't finish it. Would have been the 6th shorty against Butler this season if he'd been able to convert it. And for Jack Zakin, just has the 1 goal on the season. It was a nice, confident move. Simcoe whacked the puck out of the air, legally apparently, just at shoulder height, according to referee Hendry. But it's Dabkowski, has an open man, McElhaney going to the net, elected to shoot, did Dabkowski, but he missed it high, might have been deflected. 13:06 to go in the second period. Down to 20 seconds left on this power play, and PT's now controlling the puck in the offensive zone again, or at least keeping it pinned to the wall, which is just as good as holding it. Dabkowski, puck in his skates, and it's ripped away from him by Gregory. Colton Gregory on the shoot-in. Hanna staples Trey Gilliland to the wall, and Seth Hanna strongly pulls it away. Hanna's got a man coming out of the box. It's John Camp. Camp is in, and he puts it off the glove of Rierick. Or, pardon me, Camp was coming off the bench. It was Sikanolfi who came out of the box. A quick change there. Camp, deking, scanning his options. Dangerous pass cross rink. Trey Gilliland got a piece of it. Now Trey Gilliland pulls away from Seth Hanna. Trey has Colton Gregory going to the net. Took the shot instead, and Wilbert wanted to whack it away to a teammate, but thought better of it. He holds with 12-12 left in the second period. So PT's killed off both Butler power plays. It's now 52 times shorthanded for PT, which, by the way, is the most in Class AAA. So they've had plenty of practice, but the PK unit has been very good, proportionately speaking. Interestingly enough, Butler's been shorthanded the third most times in the league. I wouldn't think of either of these teams as being very rough and tumble, but maybe some discipline problems creeping in for both at times. Bush flubbed that clearance. Simcoe to Thrash. He was open, but he let it back for Deal, and that's broken up. Now the Indians try to counter. It's a 2-on-1. Camp has some room. He has Lehman going to the net, and he got it to him, but Lehman ran out of angle. Camp again. Camp, the centering play. Aerial looking for Lehman. He couldn't swat it out of the atmosphere. Lehman possessed here. Lehman swooping into the inside, but Potocny has the loose puck. Wanted to bank it ahead to Simcoe. No dice. Owen Barrett was there. Barrett to Camp. Again, he gets a step. John Camp's closing in, and he's stopped again by Rierick, who has his numbers so far tonight. Camp has 6 goals on the year. Katie Wilbert takes a check behind the goal. John Camp comes out of the pack with the puck again to Katie Wilbert, her backhand. Stopped, and a penalty coming against Butler, a trip.
Tell you what, she came in there like a wrecking ball behind the net. I don't think she took a check as much as she was trying to give one back there. And then she went straight to the net after the play and then almost got a goal on a backhand, catching Rierick looking across the crease.
Gotta say I'm impressed, and I was told that her hockey sense is off the charts, which is obviously why she can hang at this level. The way this game is going, she's gonna get plenty of opportunity to pick up her first varsity point. Hanna shooting, the power play begins for Peters Township, number 2 on the game, nets off its moorings. The penalty to Deal, and by the way, Tyler Sikanolfi is still in the box. There was a 2 and a 10 for him on that checking from behind. Josh Deal is in the box now for Butler. Peters Township has 1 power play goal, 1 for 1 on the night. The man who scored it has the puck right now as he spins away from the checking pressure of Aiden Wagner. Jack Zakin poked away by Wagner and poked out the center by Wagner. Barrett with 2 golden tornado in his face. Makes the play over to Bray center. Center took the shot, but it was blocked to the corner. Zakin's on it first. His backhand finds McElhaney, who has a goal tonight. Hanna waiting, dishing off of Gilliland's stick, but to McElhaney eventually. Barrett pulls it around Wagner. Barrett pumped it just wide of the right post. Zakin, wrap around. Oh, he put it right through the blue paint. And he had Rierick out to lunch there. Barrett shot it, center, deflected it to the end boards. Zakin, center, score! Bray center makes it 2 for 2 on the power play. It's a 6th for PT with 10:02 left in the second.
Found the puck wide open in the slot and fired it 5-hole. Wasn't a lot on the shot, but was able to beat him.
Bray Center's 3rd of the year. And out of his 3 goals, all 3 are on the power play. Figure that one out.
Well, he's a power play specialist.
Call him a
That's
specialist.
what I figure
I
out.
was
Yeah.
going to say that.
Yeah, it's not that hard to call.
In his first varsity season, Brave Center making an impact on special teams, on the offensive end at least. 6 ruck, PT. Indians trying to get right here before the break. Trying to make it 4 wins in 6 games going into the break. Puck still alive here, high in the offensive zone for Peters Township. Caden Slavin dumped it deep. McElhaney gets an assist on the play. And Jack Zakin gets another one. So Zakin has 3 assists tonight, at least by my count. Wow, Slavin laid a hit on Luke Sherwin, who went tumbling back into the boards. I'm guessing that's going to be a charge. Slavin came flying in. Caden Slavin, that is, one of the Slavin brothers, the senior. Oh, he's gone for at least 2. Two minutes for boarding looks to be the call to Slavin. Well, it's either a charge or a board. I think the initial call was charge. Or no, he's given an unsportsmanlike as well. That's what the call was from Seelock, the referee. That's the second Indian to get 2 and a 10 this period. So, well, that's the one negative side of this game for Peters Township. So Butler gets a 3rd power play. From distance, it's Aiden Shoup, sophomore defender, putting it on goal. Brody Simcoe couldn't make anything happen high in the zone. Deal took it. Sinicki cleaned out Eric Wilbert behind the net. But Drew Wilbert got it out to the line, and then Ferguson blasted it the rest of the way. 8:43 left in the second. PT got 4 in the first, 2 more in the second period. And counting. Eric Wilbert, shorthanded, or pardon me, that's Drew. Drew has Eric with him, trying to support the puck, and the pass does go through to Eric, right back to Drew. It's a killing time type of a mission for the Indians, but it hops loose to Simcoe of Butler. Simcoe holds up and dumps in. Waiting for reinforcements was Simcoe, and said Ferguson once again gets the full ice clear. From behind the net, Debkowski, oh, he had Foltz making a charge to the front. Couldn't get it through. Hanna looks to poke it off of Trey Gilliland's stick, and said Troy follows up for Butler, and now Trey gets the puck. Trey and Troy in the corner. Now Troy goes high after Foltz with the stick a couple of times, and that's going to be a penalty against him. Well, pretty easy call for the referee duo to make right in front of the stripes and right around the puck. So probably not going to get away with that one. Troy Gilliland is off. 2 minutes for roughing and 2 for cross-checking, so 4 total to Troy Gilliland. So 4 total minutes going on the board to number 91 of Butler with 7:43 left in the second. Getting rough, and the game's out of hand, Brian, so the 2 referees, Hendry and Seelock, are going to have their work cut out for them in the final,
The thing that was surprising,
24 minutes of this
the
game.
thing that was surprising to me was the Peters Township initial penalty. You know, you're up 6-0 at that point. Do you really need to make that charge/hit in the corner? And then you lead into things like what happened down here. You're out. It's out of play. Now just play a hockey game and see what happens.
Yeah, ready to go into Christmas break with an injury.
Yeah.
Lehman to the front, Camp couldn't guide it home, and then Lehman wiped out at the side of the net. Camp trying to run through Potocny. Well, John Camp is not letting up in the intensity. Look at him go. He keeps that puck pinned deep, and well, this is going to devolve into something else. Camp took a swing at Potocny. He and Potocny just started exchanging glove blows. And Potocny gestures to the, I think that's some of the PT students down there in the corner. Couldn't quite tell.
Possibly.
7:17 left. Camp goes to the box, which is getting rather crowded. So Camp, Slavin, and Sikanolfi are all serving penalties for Peters Township. And now it's on Brandon Tingle and Cliff Bumford and the PT coaching staff to control the situation here. All I can say right now is it's 4-on-4 play for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else, which the way this is going, there might be something else.
There ain't much more room left in the PT penalty box right now. I'll tell you that much.
Zakin tried to center for the charging Ferguson, and 4-on-4, the D have a little more freedom to make a move if they deem it reasonable. Ferguson pokes this puck up in the air, and Zakin will take. Zakin with under 7 to go in the second. Slides away from him, but Zakin will get it right back. Skating to it is McElhaney behind the goal. McElhaney 2 points tonight. Settles the puck. Cross-rink saucer to Ferguson. Backdoor save, rebound, score! It's Zakin. And Jack Zakin has a 4-point night. A goal to go with 3 assists. The senior strikes with 6:35 left in the second.
Nothing you can really do about that. Rearick made a heck of a save on the first pass, and then it just bounced out where Zakin was able to put it into the empty cage. The rebound just popped out of his way.
Zakin's second of the year. Third goal of the period for the Tribe, and it's 7 goals on the board in total. One shy of their season high. The Indians got 8 against Mount Lebanon here in the opener, October the 1st. 8-3 was the final there. That was a game that was tied after 1. This one's been in PT control since about the midway point of the first period. And that's our first 4-on-4 goal tonight. The puck comes back to Hannah. 1 minute to go on the John Camp minor. After that, it's a PT power play. Hannah and Foltz on the forecheck here. Butler trying to get its balance back. Potocny couldn't make a play at the offensive blue line. Yet Gregory streaking in. Foltz catches up to it. Takes a nice hip check there from DiDomenico. Hannah at the half wall. Put it deeper for Foltz. Lost his stick on the check. Ferguson gets an assist on the Zakin goal, by the way. Hannah shot into a forest of bodies. McElhaney gets his 3rd point of the night. Long drive, tipped just wide by Foltz. Taking that rip was Barrett. Hannah has Barrett making a move. Skipped off his stick. Barrett now shoots off the sideboards, and it pops wide of the net on the looping shot. Hannah. Camps out of the box. PT goes to the power play. Slavin and Sikanolfi still in there. And Josh Dio lost control of the puck. It's Camp. Looking to go top shelf, but a little too high with that wrister. Then he was checked down to the ice as he made his move into the slot. Eric Wilbert checked from behind by Thrash, but Eric gets that puck. Eric to the corner. Now the slot. Drew handing it off. Lehman lines one up. Redirected high into the ceiling. Tough to get to the rafters here at Princegate, but that one got there.
I was about to say, that's probably the highest shot I've ever seen at the Princegate Arena here. Wow.
4:36 to go, and, well, the clock's still ticking even though the puck's out of play.
Wait, it's got a pit tick. It's the running clock.
Oh, it's a running
We
clock
are running
now.
clock
It's at
after
7 minutes. At 7 goals.
6, I think.
Oh, 6, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the running clock rules have kicked in, so keep that in mind.
We also might not see an ice cut, so we might not have a break between the second and the third. Very rare do they get the ice cut between the two, but when a game like this is like this distance, they do wait on it.
Now I know. I'm learning so many things. Eric Wilbert to Ferguson and Lehman. Cross rink. Eric is open at the post, and he couldn't guide the pass from Drew into the net. Would have been the hat trick. Lehman, oh, what a shot that was. It hit the crossbar and deflected into the netting. Wait,
Yeah.
Lehman put that on a line from 55 feet away.
Yeah, I believe it's 6 or 7 goals at the end of the second, and you don't get an ice cut. You get that point, and they'll just want to get the game over with.
Well, you had that a couple of weeks ago at RMU Island.
But they foregone they actually agreed to go to the break because they were playing with a skater in goal.
Oh, that's right.
So they
wanted to give him a breather.
They wanted to give the goaltender a breather, so they gave them the ice cut. North Allegheny agreed. North Hills agreed to it over Wheeling Catholic, and they were able to do that.
Glivic to Ringwald. Now Hanna back to 5-on-5 play. Hanna shot. Wilbert deflected. Score!
First point.
Glivic shovels home the rebound, and that's a first for Katie Wilbert, the primary assist on Peters Township's 8th goal of the night.
She almost got the goal.
Very close. In fact, Rierick had to make a stop on that initial chance, but Glivic was right there to backhand it high into the net.
You called it in the first. Looked like she was getting close. Opportunity aroused, and there she was.
Glivic's, by the way, don't want to gloss
Oh,
over
no,
this.
no,
His
no, it
first
was
goal,
Glivic's goal, too.
of his varsity career, too. So a couple of firsts there. Glivic gets on the board, and as does Katie Wilbert. 2:50 remaining in the second period, 8-0 PT. They've matched the season high for goals. We're going to see a lot of this Glivic, Ringwald, Katie Wilbert line, I think. Seth Hanna settles. Shot up to the doorstep right by Glivic.
Well, once congratulations to Glivic for his first career goal. I apologize. It was for me, that's a huge thing. This is that's awesome. And I think he's not
awesome
he didn't even show up on the lineup. He's a JV call-up. Am I correct?
Well, he's played. This is his fourth game of the year. Haven't seen him for a while though.
Right.
Fourth game for Glivic. First point. Butler trying to work things up ice here. And there's a lot of snow in front of that Butler goal, by the way. It'd be tough if there is no ice resurfacing. Aiden Jeffers will take this shot. Haven't seen him out there very much. McElhaney couldn't get past the stick check of Ackelson. Ferguson to Bush. 90 seconds to go in the second period. It's a running clock in an 8-0 game. 4 in the first, 4 in the second for Peters Township tonight. 5 at 5-on-5, 2 at power play, 1 on 4-on-4 situation. McElhaney's hurt. Ferguson rings the post from the slot. And there's no penalty coming up here, but it will be an icing against Butler. McElhaney goes after Sal DiDomenico, who I believe was the man who either checked him or stick fouled him. I didn't see it, to be honest. And Brandon Tingle and the Indians coaching staff would like a word with the referees, and I'm sure they're saying I didn't see it. So referee Seelock is guided away from the boards by Hendry.
And now it's starting to break down along the front of the Peters Township bench.
In the meantime, the clock's running out on the second period as it continues to tick. 22 seconds left in the second. Yeah, that's what you worry about now.
Yeah.
Last game before break, maybe some frustrations boiling, especially for Butler, which is about to lose its 6th in a row here.
Looks like at this point they're going to let the ice cut happen, just for
cool
the purpose
off.
to cool things off and get the two teams off the ice, let tempers come down, and then we'll get back into the next period.
And the referee, Todd Hendry, is saying enough to Cliff Bumford, the assistant coach for Peters Township. So on that contentious note, we will go to our break. at the second intermission.
That's one way to get the ice cut in this type of a game. Yeah.
8-0 Peters Township. As I just mentioned, 4 in the first and 4 in the second. And some firsts tonight in addition to some big evenings for some of the usual suspects for the Peters Township Indians. And oh yeah, by the way, Alex Wilbert has not allowed a goal through 2 periods as well. We'll go to that timeout. We'll gladly take it here on Berg Hockey Live. I'm Matt Geica with Brian Mitchell. 1 period to go in our spectacular this Tuesday at South Point. Stay with us.
4, unless Indiana scored a late goal that's not on the score sheet yet. That one went to final. An interesting setting the standings there. Kiski's going to find themselves 1 point out of first place going into the winter break. Last game on the docket, North Hills trailing Fox Chapel 1-0 at the Alpha Ice Complex. Let's see what we've got for that one. Fox Chapel. Ricky Downey scored in the second period for Fox Chapel to give them the 1-0 lead. Let's see how many minutes. Looks like they're getting ready to head into the third period right now at AIC. My name is Brian Mitchell. This is Berg Hockey Live. Thank you for joining us tonight for our doubleheader. Third period coming up. Peters Township leading Butler 8-0. We'll be back here at Printscape Arena with Matt Geica.
8-0 the score for Peters Township over Butler. Final game of the first half, unofficial first half of the PIHL season. Thanks again to Brian Mitchell of Pittsburgh Hockey Digest fame, of course, for going over the scores tonight, including a tight one between Kiski and Indiana up at Center Ice Arena, which I recently checked off my pickup hockey list. Mitch, I was able to play out there a few times on some Sunday nights.
I consider that my home rink, sir.
That's a low ceiling up there.
Talk about really low ceilings. Yeah, go to Center Ice Arena.
Was it 3 sheets up there, though?
3 sheets.
Yeah.
3 sheets of ice up at Center Ice Arena.
That's very close to where you live.
Yep, within a couple minutes. Not even like I went to Hempfield, so my home rink was technically Kirk Nevin Arena, but Center Ice is the one that I learned to skate, I learned to play, all that stuff on, so.
Nice. I've skated a few times down here at the arena formerly known as Isoplex, now Printscape, where PT's trying to get win number 7, move to 7-5 before the teams adjourn for the holidays. Butler, the Golden Tornado, well, the running clock here in this third period, they don't have much opportunity to at least get on the board, but they do have 1 period left to try to make things right. This is already the most goals that Butler's allowed on the season. They lost 7-0 to North Allegheny 2 weeks ago. But 8 has been a frontier that their opponents have not yet reached until tonight. Giveaway by Bush to Bennett Thrash, and Thrash, who had the first chance of this game, now puts it off the outside of the net, and it just slid out in front, floated there, where it's picked up by Mark Lehman. Lehman, a great move to the backhand, and he wipes out the goaltender, Rierick, as he was stopped. Before he was trying to stuff that one in, though, he was hooked, according to the referee. Todd Hendry makes the call, and it's hooking against Brendan Ackelson.
They're going up, looking over Rierick real fast.
Trevor Ackelson, pardon me.
All right. They're looking over Rierick real fast. He got up a little bit gingerly on that play, of course. No backup on the bench for Butler right now.
And Ackelson disputes the call. Lehman is deceivingly quick with his hands, even though he's a bigger player, obviously, well over 6 feet, but he can dangle on you, and he did there. Leading to Peters Township's 4th power play. The Tribe is 2 for 4 tonight. Josh Deal skates it into the offensive end, shorthanded for Butler. Butler has 1 shorthanded goal on the year. PT's allowed 1. And Lehman again, it's no rerun, he's right up the center of the ice once more. This time he'll glide in behind the net, make the pass out to Ferguson, now Wilbert near side. Drew Wilbert, who assisted on the first 2 goals, scored by his brother Eric. Ouch, Potocny took that clearance right off the back of his arm, it appeared, from Blake Sinicki, who put a lot on it too. Ferguson shooting, and Rierick got a toe on that. Lehman bumps it down the wall. Eric across Ferguson, big slapper, shouldered out of there by Rierick and cleared down by Thrash. PT trying to make it 4 wins in 6 games after they lost 3 in a row to end October. And they will undoubtedly make it 4 wins in 6 games, barring a miracle. Lehman, centering pass centered, already has 1 power play goal, couldn't get a second. His shot was interrupted by Troy Gilliland, who now gets to this loose puck. Back to the point. Zakin, oh my, Rierick didn't see it, but it missed the net, fortunately for him. Now Barrett knocks it along, centered to McElhaney. Dylan McElhaney, big scoring night for him. Wraparound goal earlier. Now he makes a pass between his own legs to centered, but Bray couldn't turn it over and shoot. Zakin, speaking of big nights, he's got 3 assists to go with a goal. It's just, you could go down the list here, and I will in a moment when I get a stoppage in play. All the multi-point efforts for Indians tonight. But it's Troy Gilliland knocking it off the far side boards. 45 seconds to go on Ackelson's penalty. It's a running clock here in the third with an 8-goal margin, as it was late in the second. Brody Simcoe couldn't lift it over Seth Hanna's glove. Hanna has Glivic going to the net. Same with center, but Hanna pulls up. And stick check by Josh Deal. The puck skids out to center. And it's centered. Driving it ahead, apparently just over the red line, so no icing here against the Indians. 15 seconds to go on this power play. PT's 4th of the night. Deal handed it off back to Barrett of PT. Dish pass for Glivic, away from his reach. High in the zone, Anthony Foltz. Foltz tests the glove hand of Rierick, and it is sound indeed on that shot. But let's look at that scoring list for Peters Township. McElhaney, goal and 2 assists. Jack Zakin, a goal and 3 assists. Bray centered, 1 goal, 1 assist. Eric Wilbert, 2 goals. Drew Wilbert, 2 assists. Seth Hanna from the blue line, 1 goal and 2 assists. Owen Barrett from the blue line, 2 assists. All with multi-points tonight. Aiden Potocny testing Alex Wilbert. I think Alex got a blocker on that. It's a breakaway for Katie Wilbert. She's in alone, and she scores! Katie Wilbert joins the multi-point parade. How about that?
Wow, the Penguins' elite product. What moves had... She had a defender coming down on her, waited it out, started to feel a little bit of the footsteps, fired a shot over the blocker, and it's now 9-0.
Katie Wilbert's first varsity goal to go with her first varsity assist in her 3rd Peters Township game that you mentioned. Plays club hockey for Penn's Elite, U19s. Getting a chance here to show her stuff. Played last week too at Erie Cathedral Prep. It's going to be, no, not offside apparently. Senicki, a headhunter, sails over the bar. Eric Wilbert made the breakaway pass. So it is her brother setting up her first varsity goal. Can't get more storybook than that. And here are the Indians again. This time it's Drew. It's again the Wilbert show. It started like that, and it might finish like that. 9-0 Peters Township. Most goals for Peters this season, and I think in at least a couple of seasons. And the most goals allowed by Butler this year. Colton Gregory gave it away. Dabkowski kept his stick down. That's why you do that. Sometimes they just might pass it right to you. Dabkowski is on it here in the corner, but overskated. Troy Gilliland tries to pin it. Lehman lines one up and scores. It's a 10-goal game for PT. The puck came loose. Dabkowski's going to get the assist. Lehman goes short side for his 2nd goal of the night. And for the first time in 5 years calling Peters Township games, it's double digits for the Tribe. 2 even strength goals in this third. Katie Wilbert and Mark Lehman for Lehman, number 12 in PT's 12th game. Now Camp flushes it past DiDomenico. Lehman's got another look here. He has Debkowski going to the goal. Fed it to Camp. He's stopped twice by Rierick. Everyone's got one but Camp, it seems like. He's talking to Lehman about wants a different kind of a pass in front, I guess. I don't know what he's complaining about. He's got a smile on his face, I know that. It's all in jest at this point. A 10-0 margin. Clock continues to run. And a goaltending change. Alex Wilbert is out. And we'll see Joey Nelson, the senior, once again. Nelson making his 3rd appearance. He has 2 starts on the year. .872 save percentage in total. And a .333 goals against. He got the 1 shutout by a non-Wilbert goalie this year. And he got it against these Butler Golden Tornado back in October. That was 5-0. This is 10-0. Nelson gets his first touch on it. No warm-up for him. He'll have to be ready if called upon if he wants to keep the team shutout going. So Alex Wilbert will not get the shutout officially credited to him. Get to finish the game. Of course, PT wants to keep that goose egg up there on the defensive side.
With Alex Wilbert getting as many starts as he's had recently, it's also good to see get him a game out of it. A little chance here takes some time.
Sinicki scores and Butler's got a goal. Blake Sinicki showing off some filthy hands there as he cut back and put it 5-0 on Nelson. What a first shot to face, by the way. 10 feet out. Maybe the hardest shooter on the Butler team. So Sinicki makes it 10-1, beating Nelson. Sinicki scores his 3rd. And Foltz burrows in. 11 goals on the board in this one, 10 of them for Peters Township. Ringwald as Sinicki checks in. Well, Blake Sinicki continues to play hard. Foltz. Sinicki clears this from the side of his net. Hunter Ferguson charges down the boards. Foltz, Zach Glivic already has 1. Rang the outside of the net with that. Hit the frame. Did Glivic. Ringwald couldn't pull it around Sinicki. He kept his stick in the right spot. Ferguson into a crowd. Pops loose. Josh Deal clears to the corner. Potocny finds Sinicki. Sinicki can't get that one out. Again, the Indians pinning in Butler. Hanna inadvertently played it over to Simcoe, who tries to jump past him, but Hanna kept his skates together, refused to be nutmegged there, and he hooks up with Zach Glivic. Glivic to Ringwald. Ringwald popped away from Hanna, who has to try to glove it away and now make a play with his stick. Troy Gilliland finds it. Glivic. Shovel play over to Eric Wilbert. Handed it off to Troy Gilliland, but it's passed at his own man, Simcoe. Glivic, 3 men in the offensive zone for the Indians. Eric Wilbert scored a couple early, couldn't make a move there. Thrash charging to the outside against Sikanolfi, the senior defenseman. That's Tyler Sikanolfi. Haven't seen a lot of number 48 this year, but he gets a look here tonight. Well, he spent much of the second period in the penalty box, piling up 12 PIMs in one play. Katie Wilbert down to a knee to snap this deep. Katie Wilbert, a goal and an assist in nearly a second there. Centering play from her brother Eric. All 3 Wilberts are out there together. Backhand from Eric is blocked away by Rierick. And Drew Wilbert finds that puck. Drew to Eric. Katie's going behind the goal. She got it back from Drew and scored.
Well, well, well. Jeez.
Katie from Drew and Eric with 7 minutes to go in the third.
Wilbert from Wilbert and Wilbert.
3 Wilberts on the score sheet on the same goal.
That has to be the first time in league history that 3 of the 4 quadruplets have got a point on the same goal.
It is 11-1 PT. Katie Wilbert has 3 points. Hey, at this point, she's a point per game player. That's 3 and 3. Getting all 3 here tonight, though. Lehman to the line. Barrett, half slapper, wide of the net. Ferguson to Dabkowski. Now Lehman, who scored earlier in this period. Lehman pulls it free, and he's got the hat trick. What a snapper that was. My goodness. Boy, can he fire the puck. Unbelievable. He just did a curlicue high in the zone and put it in for the 12th goal for PT. 5.5 left and ticking. 13 for Lehman, and I have 1 spot left on my score sheet. I'm discovering exactly how many spots they give me. It's 18 total, not 18, pardon me, 14 total goals they allow for on this particular book. So Eric Wilbert's been sitting on 2 since, midway through the first, and instead Mark Lehman is the one who gets the hat trick here. Center. Couldn't get it past Deal. That's the point you feel for Bryce Rierick, too. I don't feel like he's played that poorly tonight, honestly.
He's played very well. Both teams are still playing with high intensity. Butler hasn't given too much to, hasn't given up in this game thus far. You've seen him give the effort, just opportunities like this just occur.
And a mistake, McElhaney, he scores 13-1. McElhaney picks up another point. And the second breakaway goal of the period for Peters Township. For McElhaney, his 3rd of the year. And those 4 minutes can't tick off the clock fast enough for the visitors tonight. Yes, 13-1. DiDomenico on the chase back for Butler. We're looking ahead to the second half for Peters Township, which is about to jump into a 3rd place tie. Oh, Slavin nearly banked that home off Shoup. In the second half, out at Mount Lebo, at Cannon Mac, technically, even though it's here, for PT coming out of the chute. And then a big home game against Seneca Valley. This will be icing against Butler. 2 more consecutive road games at Upper St. Clair, which PT lost to here, and then at Bethel Park, as PT will look for the sweep of its South Hills rival. All in all, 8 games after the break for the Indians, 4 here and 4 away. And Butler, which plays its 13th game tonight, just has 7 in calendar year 2020. Cannon Mac, they'll be at home against the Big Macs on January the 6th to start that second half stretch that'll see them go on the road 4 times in 7 games. If you're wondering why is he reading the schedule, well, the scoreline says a lot about that. Seems like the most relevant thing to talk about at this point. Ringwald, 5 goals here in the 3rd for PT. It was 8-0 after 2, 4-0 after 1. Actually, the first 6 minutes of this game was a scoreless battle, and then Butler had a couple of chances, in fact, to go ahead. But it's just snowballed on the Golden Tornado here in the 3rd period especially.
Yeah, and this is going to be the final game of the half for the entire AAA. So we can actually give you what's going to be the standings coming out of this one. And
Ringwald's penalized, by the way.
Peters Township's going to go to 7-5 on the season. 14 points is going to put them in a 4-way tie with Upper St. Clair, Cannon McMillan, and Seneca Valley for that third slot. Pine Richland's going to survive and stay in the second slot after tonight. They're at 15 points. North Allegheny at 21 points leading the way. Underneath them, Cathedral Prep and Mount Lebanon tied at 11 points. 3 points up on Bethel Park at 8 points. Central Catholic and Butler 4 points apiece right now heading out of the half. Butler 7 games to go on the season after this one. Peters Township 8 to go.
Katie Wilbert now out there killing a penalty. Penalty to Ringwald. Eric Wilbert is there too.
To mention on that the standings,
Eric Wilbert just pulling over the top, shorthanded. Go ahead.
Peters Township will have the most games played at 12 with in that 4-way tie. Cannon McMillan and Seneca Valley will have 11, and Upper St. Clair has the least amount of games played at 10 going into the second half. So it's them, Bethel Park, and Pine Richland have played 10 games each this season. So those are the games in hand you start to look at it. Once we get into the second half, you'll be seeing my playoff primers pop up on berghockey.com. Once a week, I'll update you on the playoff picture, how it's supposed to play out, and as the rules start to get released from the league, we'll let you know how that affects each team, the schedule for the week and such. So pay attention to that when we get into the second half. I'll have that up probably the 6th of January, 5th or 6th of January to start.
You have only 10 games played going into the second half. That's 10 games in 2 months, essentially, coming out of the breaks. That's a lot.
It's not an easy stretch run in the PIHL. So
time has run out on this one. Indians win, and boy, do they ever. 13-1 is the final. PT pours it on, almost an equal measure in each period. 5 in the third. That's their biggest period of the game, but biggest period of the season as well. But overall, it was a consistent push, Brian, from start to finish. For PT, they found some cracks in the Butler defense in the first period. And, well, it ended up being quite the historic night with Katie Wilbert getting 2 goals and an assist in the rout.
You know what? A couple things there. Like, I've seen players like Olivia Sindrich play in this league. I've seen players like there's a player that plays for Chatham now. She didn't get a chance to play varsity. She played for the Steel City Selects. It's Grace Johnson. She's scoring goals for Chatham right now in this league. But, yeah, 2 goals for a female in the PIHL. I mean, we called it it's proving ground, training ground for players that want to play the next level. And she's definitely one of those that showed that she can play at another level here today. So congratulations to Katie Wilbur. Congratulations to Glaven. First goal here today. So
Glivic, Zach
Glivic.
Yes.
Glivic. It's not on your sheet here. I'm looking around. I apologize. Congratulations to Glivic, of course, getting the goal on her first assist, her first point. Butler's effort, I'll give them this. They hung in there. It was small mistakes here and there, being short benched, being overworked, getting tired towards the end. It wasn't a hard go at the beginning, but they showed a lot of heart out there. And at the end, they didn't let it get dirty. They played the game clean for as far out as it could. You could easily seen that game turn the other way. But
sure. And
obviously,
almost did in the second period,
and
but
there were
things
some
cooled
things,
down.
and actually, it was coming from the other way in the second period,
yeah.
if you think about it. And, it was like imposing will, but Butler never really, the only time I saw any real, tough emotion out of them was Gilliland down in the corner, after getting hit twice up high, showed a little emotion, took a penalty on a couple ill-advised, cross-checks and such. But in this game, you look at it, 13-1. Hopefully you're not coming out of here with a lot of injuries. It's a tough trip down here to Princescape. They're going to have to do it again. I think they have to do it again with Cannon McMillan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right at the start of. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's out at. It's up Frozen
at.
Pond.
Okay, but
yeah.
You got that opportunity, but it's tough to say for Butler. They showed a lot of resiliency here in the face of this adversity, and I got my hats are off to them for just keeping it clean and making sure that this game ended as it was. And at that point, there's not much you can say once you get over the 10-point barrier, the 10-goal barrier, and like we said, second half. We're up for the second half now in AAA. So it's
Absolutely.
This is it for the AAA for the first half.
The pre-holiday stretch. 4-point nights for Dylan McElhaney, Eric Wilbert, and Jack Zakin. Mark Lehman had a hat trick. We also had 3 points for Seth Hanna and Katie Wilbert, as we mentioned, 2 goals and an assist. Gavin Dabkowski, a couple of helpers. Let's see any more multi-point guys that I missed. I don't think so. Yes, Owen Barrett as well. And Alex Wilbert made 9 saves on 9 shots before giving away to Joey Nelson, who stopped 3 of 4. PT's now 7-5. Butler is now 2-11. For Brian Mitchell, I'm Matt Geika saying good night from Princescape. Thanks again to the ladies here from Peters Township Community Television Channel 7. And also everyone with the PIHL for helping us expand these offerings and continuing to give you more and more high school hockey live via our Facebook page. Good night from South Point. Happy holidays as well.
We'll see you on the stretch run, folks. January will come soon enough. Take care, guys.